Urgent, energetic. Tehran, August 19, 1953. By nightfall, the capital is in total chaos. Armed men are sweeping through the city, seizing radio stations and swarming government offices. A democratic government is in the middle of a sudden collapse. The man at the center of this crisis was Prime Minister Mohammad Mosaddegh. He was elected by his people and had broken no law. Washington and London had spent months engineering this violence under the codename Operation Ajax, a classified regime change operation designed to dismantle the Iranian government. The events on these streets would go on to shape the next 70 years of conflict across the Middle East. To understand why a prime minister was targeted, look at the Anglo-Iranian Oil Company, the corporation we now know as BP. By the mid-20th century, this single British entity held total, exclusive operational control over Iran's vast oil fields, refineries, and pipelines. The arrangement was incredibly lucrative for British executives, while the Iranian laborers extracting the oil earned fractions of the profit. Most of the wealth generated flowed directly to London. In 1951, Mosaddegh responded by nationalizing the entire oil industry. He legally transferred ownership and all future profits back to the Iranian state. London viewed this as an existential threat. To the British Empire, a sovereign nation claiming its own resources was treated as an act of war. Britain retaliated instantly with a global economic blockade and positioned warships in the Persian Gulf. When those measures failed to break Mossadegh's resolve, they appealed to the United States for intervention. CIA Director Allen Dulles approved the mission. Dulles didn't fear Mosaddegh because of communism. He recognized that a small nation successfully defying a Western monopoly set a dangerous precedent for American corporate assets abroad. Operation Ajax had a precise objective: remove Mosaddegh and install a compliant monarch, the Shah, who would reliably protect Western oil interests. The CIA dispatched Kermit Roosevelt Jr. to Tehran. He entered the country under a false identity, carrying a briefcase packed with millions of dollars in cash. In Tehran, the CIA demonstrated that preserving corporate asset control took priority over the sovereignty of a democratic ally. Roosevelt used those funds to buy off Iranian journalists, flooding Tehran's newspapers with fabricated articles portraying the prime minister as a threat to Islam. Next, CIA intermediaries bribed influential local clerics, ensuring they would denounce Mosaddegh from their pulpits to their congregations. Finally, the agency paid professional agitators to stage violent riots on August 19th. The coordinated chaos created the illusion of a popular uprising turning against its leader. Mosaddegh was arrested and convicted of treason against the state. He spent the rest of his life under house arrest. With Mosaddegh removed, the Shah reclaimed the throne and immediately handed the oil contracts back to a consortium of American and British corporations. The operation proved that a democracy could be dismantled from the inside out, using a combination of targeted misinformation and financial corruption. For the next 26 years, the Shah ruled Iran with American backing. He maintained control through his secret police force, SAVAK, which was notorious for the systematic torture of political dissidents. In 1979, decades of repressed anger erupted into the streets. The Islamic Revolution forced the Shah into exile and established a republic openly hostile to the United States. In the chaos of the revolution, Iranian students stormed the United States Embassy. They held 52 Americans hostage for 444 days. This timeline maps the escalation from the 1953 coup to the eventual seizure of the American Embassy in 1979. That trajectory continues today through modern sanctions and nuclear standoffs. Installing a dictator provides short-term compliance, but it builds the conditions for long-term retaliation. For 60 years, the United States government officially denied any involvement in the overthrow of Iran's democracy. In 2013, declassified CIA files finally exposed the truth. The agency's own records stated, "The coup was carried out under CIA direction." The State Department eventually acknowledged the event as a significant intervention, but the government has never issued an official apology or offered reparations to the Iranian people. Mohammad Mosaddegh died in house arrest, still maintaining that the oil always belonged to his people. The regional conflicts of the 21st century are the direct results of those 3 weeks in 1953, the moment a democracy was dismantled to secure a steady flow of oil.